Hello everyone. In this video, we will discuss some important literary terms which are very important and asked in many exams like UGC NET, PGT and TGT. So let's start our video. Which language communicates ideas beyond the ordinary meaning of the word? यानी कौन सी लैंग्वेज है जो कि हमारी एक मतलब कि ऑर्डिनरी लैंग्वेज हमारी ऐसी कौन सी लैंग्वेज है जो कि कम्युनिकेट करती हैं उन आइडियाज़ को जो वर्ड्स में लिखे गए आइडियाज़ को कम्युनिकेट करती हैं उस लैंग्वेज को हम बोलते हैं फिगरेटिव लैंग्वेज. फॉर एग्जांपल, द न्यू टीचर इज एज टॉल एज अ जिराफ. इन टुडेज वर्ल्ड नो वन कैन बी एज टॉल एज अ जिराफ. तो फिर इस ऐसी लैंग्वेज को हम फिगरेटिव लैंग्वेज कहते हैं. यानी कि ऐसी लैंग्वेज जो कि एक सिंपल सेंटेंस दिया गया है, एक सिंपल सेंटेंस के अंदर एक हिडन मीनिंग जिसको हम बोलते हैं वो लिखा हुआ होता है. तो ऐसी लैंग्वेज को हम बोलते हैं फिगरेटिव लैंग्वेज. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज अ शॉर्ट डिस्क्रिप्टिव पोएम ऑफ रूरल और पेस्टोरल लाइफ is called idyll. यानी कि एक शॉर्ट पोएम which is based on rural or pastoral life is known as idyll. The idyll are known to have been originated by the Greek poet Theocritus. What is curtain play? Curtain play क्या होता है? It is a short play before the main play. मेन प्ले से पहले जो शॉर्ट प्ले होता है. What is proletarian novel? It is a novel written by workers mainly for other workers. The novel which was written by workers, like Walter Greenwood's Love on the Dole, has been described as an excellent example of English proletarian novel. Proletarian word means in Marxist proletarian means workers. Proletariat denotes workers community. So proletarian novels are those novels which are written by workers for workers. What is the theme of proletarian novels? Working class pupil. A. Denouement is the ending of which? A comedy. In a tragedy, the conclusion is often called the catastrophe. Curtal sonnet has 10.5 or 11 lines. Curtal sonnets was invented by whom? J. M. Hopkins. The Variorum edition is last edition of a work. Variorum edition is किसी भी वर्क का, किसी भी नॉवल का latest edition of any work is known as variorum edition. What do you mean by neologism? The coming of new word in a language. Example: webinar, overshare and freelancing. What is new? New means new, logism means language. So coming of new words in a language is known as neologism. Villanelli is a poem of 19 lines. What is ballad? Ballad is a poem or a song which is narrating a story in short stanzas, like The Rime of the Ancient Mariner by S.T. Coleridge. The ballad singers were called minstrels. What is saga? It is a novel which tells the story of several generations of the same family. For example, Foster Saga by and Middlemarch by George Eliot. What is linear plot? It describes event chronologically. What is limited? What is limited third person narrator? One who can't see into the mind and hearts of other character known as limited third person narrator. What is sonnet? Sonnet is a 14-line poem with a fixed rhyme scheme. Sonnets use iambic pentameter. What is iambic pentameter? It is a line of writing. It is a line of writing that consists 10 syllables in a specific pattern of an unstressed syllable followed by stressed syllable or a short syllable followed by long syllable. I have already made a video in which I have discussed different type of meters which is used in poems. So iambic pentameter is a line of writing or is a form of different type of speech you can say or form of writing which is commonly used in English poems, British English poems. It is a rhyming scheme. Give an example of iambic pentameter. Shall I compare thigh to a summer day? Shall I compare thigh to a summer May's day? So iambic pentameter has 10 syllable 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It has 10 syllable in a specific pattern for which unstressed syllable सबसे पहले unstressed syllable होता है उसके बाद stressed syllable आता है या फिर short syllable पहले आता है और long syllable बाद में आता है उसे बोलते हैं iambic pentameter. The birthplace of sonnet is Italy. A song or a poem in honor of a marriage is known as epithalamion. Like epithalamion was written by Edmund Spenser. What is literary man or writer of literary work called? Literator. What is atmosphere in a poem, in a literature? It means the mood, either moral, sensational, emotional, and intellectual, which dominates the story or novel. Atmosphere. Sonnet is derived from the Italian word sonetto, which means a little song. At present, sonnet is used to express every kind of sentiment and purpose. A description that appeals to one of five senses is called imaginary. The houses look like frosted cakes in winter. This example appeals to our sense of sight. Imaginary means words are used to describe a particular things or for example imaginary by which words evoke our senses like our eyes, our nose, our ears. So the language which evokes our senses known as imaginary. A poem that tells a poem that tells a story with plot, setting, and character is called narrative poem, like the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. A poem with no meter or rhyme is called free verse. Samson, Samson Agonistes by John Milton. A poem that generally has meter and rhyme is called lyric. Lyric expresses personal emotion or feelings typically spoken in first person. What is paradox? What is paradox? Virodhavas. A statement that seems self contradictory in nature or absurd, but in reality expresses a possible truth. For example, save money by spending it. How can one uh, save money by spending it? So a line which has which has a self which is self contradictory in nature is known as paradox. A teacher must be cruel to be kind. What figure of speech has been used in this line? Paradox. How can be a teacher uh, must be a cruel as well as kind at the same time? So this line has self contradictory in itself. This line is self contradictory in itself. That's why this line is paradox. What is anaphora? It is a figure of speech in which words repeat at the beginning of successive clauses, phrases, and sentences. Anaphora, anaphora is a figure of speech in which some clauses, phrases, or words are repeated at the beginning of a sentence. Give an example of the anaphora. It was the best of time, it was the worst of time, it was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. So in all of this line, it was the word, it was the phrase which repeating repeatedly used. So these are the opening word of Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities. So this figure of speech is known as anaphora. Poetry that shows the poet's heart, his experience, liking and disliking, is called subjective poetry. Petrarchan sonnet is also known as regular and classical sonnet. Each life of Petrarchan sonnet is in epic pentameter. The term campus novel is associated with Kingsley Ames, and I I have made a video of campus novel. So to know more about campus novel, आप उस वीडियो को भी देख सकते हैं. Now what is campus novel? It is a novel whose main action is set in and around the campus of a university. That's why those novels are known as campus novel. Or this novel are also known as academic novel. What is avant-garde? New writing that is innovative in nature. What is aside? A short speech not supposed to be heard by other character on a stage. It is a short speech. Another name of lyric is melic song. An expression of a single emotion is done through lyric. The system of spelling which is used for writing a word correctly is known as orthography. Orthography means written and ortho means spelling. So writing of a spelling in correctly order is known as orthography. A phrase applied to idea, thoughts and expression which are in harmony with the spirit of the age is called climatic opinion. A central character in a story, film or drama who lacks conventional heroic quality is known as anti-hero. Like Daniel Defoe, Moll Flanders, who is a thief and prostitute, is anti-hero, is known as anti-hero. A person or thing that is direct opposite of someone or something else is known as antithesis. Like love is an ideal thing, marriage a real thing. A person or thing which is direct opposite of someone. ठीक है, कोई भी ऐसी चीज जो कि अपोजिट हो किसी चीज से, ठीक है, उसे बोलते हैं एंटीथेसिस. द वर्ल्ड ड्रामा came from Greek word drain, which means to do or to act. What kind of poem is the longest poem type of poem which has been around for thousands of years? Epic poem. What is epic simile? Simile means comparison. Epic simile gives a detailed picture of some scene or incident. Epic means long, simile any comparison means those simile, those picture or that's the simile which gives some detailed picture of some scene. Like paradise lost, Saturn's shield is compared to moon. Epic simile is also known as Homeric simile. What is hyperbole? It is a figure of speech in which an author or speaker exaggerates to an extreme. It is used for emphasize something. Belinda smiled and all the world was grey. What figure of speech has been used in this line? Hyperbole. It means exaggeration. बढ़ा चढ़ाकर किसी चीज को बताना कि Belinda smiled and the old world was grey. It is not true. How can the world became grey by Belinda's smile? So it is hyperbole. Hyperbole. What is pun? Pun means mocking someone or making a fun of. Poking means Pun means clever and amusing use of word with two meaning. Pun means playing on words. The terrorist lies in the jail. It can be that he is telling a lie or he is lying on his back. What is coming of age novel? A novel which describes how the main character change and develop from childhood to adulthood. Great Expectation by Charles Dickens. What is Gothic novel? Novel which describes supernatural forces and includes scenes of terror. What is two-dimensional character? One which is not described in detail. Yeah, etc. are called minimal responses. Which theory hold that art is an imitation of something? Imitative theory given by Plato. Which theory hold that the artist is not essentially an imitator, but he or she is the one who expresses his or her feeling? Expressive theory. A category of literature, art, or music is called genre. The tragic comedy of Shakespeare, also known as reconciliation plays. The tragic comedy of Shakespeare, also known as reconciliation plays. Indirect comparison between two unlike things is known as metaphor. Which figure of speech does the following line have? She is a fan of stagnant waters. So, uh, fan and stagnant waters, fan or stagnant, are two unlike things which is used in a sentence. It is metaphor. What is irony? The use of word to convey a meaning that is the opposite of its literal meaning. It means the meaning a line, the literal meaning of a line and the meaning which the line express opposite to each other. Like a character stepping out into a hurricane and say, "What nice weather we are having." The contrast between expectation and reality is called irony. What dash is when the what figure of speech is when the opposite of what we expect to happens. Situational irony. An English teacher has poor grammar. You did expect an English teacher to be an expert in grammar. The situation irony means we expected something and what happens is just opposite to that. Our expectation and what happens in reality opposite to each other. So this is called situational irony. The audience knows something that the character in the drama do not. Dramatic irony. Characters know what is going on in the drama, but um, audience know what is going on in the drama, but characters इस तरीके से नाटक करते हैं कि उन्हें नहीं पता कि क्या हो रहा है, तो उसे बोलते हैं ड्रामेटिक आयरनी. What is poetic license? Liberties with language and facts in liberties where in language and facts in poetry. It means a writer can play with language and facts. He is not bound. Poetic license. It means poet is free to use different type of words, different type of phrases according to their need, according to their mood. It's called poetic license. Cases of neologisms, ungrammatical sentences, and archaism, etc., are clear example of a writer making use of poetic license. What is dystopia? It is unpleasant imaginary world. It is the opposite of utopia, which is a pleasant imaginary world. What is closet drama? Drama to be read rather than to be performed in the theater. Drama which was written to be to just be for reading, just for reading, not for performing in the theater. What is allusion? An indirect reference to some event, person, place, or artistic work. What is chorus? A group of singers in drama. Error of evaluating a poem by its emotional effect is called affective fallacy. Means it must not be evaluated by its emotional effect as every poem may differently affect people emotionally. Affective fallacy or intentional fallacy is the term which is used in literary criticism. Affective fallacy means the poem can't be judged according to according on the fact that what audience feel कि हम इस आधार पर ये डिसाइड नहीं कर सकते कि ऑडियंस क्या फील कर रही है, उसके आधार पर हम उसको जज नहीं कर सकते बिकॉज डिफरेंट पीपल हैव डिफरेंट फीलिंग और डिफरेंट perspective about a poem. So a poem can't be judged on the basis of audience expression. It is the incorrect way of judging a poem. It is called effective fallacy. The modern definition of drama dates back to Shakespeare. So, आर्ट्स इट्स ऑल अबाउट फॉर टुडे। इतने आज के लिए इतना काफ़ी है। इन माई नेक्स्ट वीडियो आई विल डिस्कस some more important questions of some important literary terms which is used in literature, like figure of speech, different type of sonnets, plays, dramas, etc. So that's all for today.